Hello and welcome to PMP Prep Exam in a nutshell. I am Muhammad Radi, Director of Project Metrics Solutions. This session, we are going to talk about earned value management. It is a good tool in evaluating your cost or budget while you are doing your evaluation for the budget you have spent in your project. You remember 7.4 control cost, 7 stand for chapter, and for the number of the numerical value related to chapter 7 in the processing group control. So you're going to monitor and control your budget. The purpose is to manage changes to the cost baseline and detect variances. You remember inputs, tool and technique, and the outputs. We are going to focus only on the tool and technique earned value management. I'd like you to familiarize yourself. You go to page 224 and familiarize yourself with the expression used. What's the planned value stand for? What's EV, earned value stand for? Actual cost, and try to memorize it. Yes, you have to memorize all the equations and the numbers related to. I have done it in a way where to make it easy for you to memorize it. I grouped all the things, the four data points: earned value, planned value, actual cost, budget at completion, and give you some equation. It might be useful for you when you are calculating the earned value and the planned value. And the three variances, all where you find subtracting formula. And there's two past-oriented performance indices, CPI, SCPI, cost per index, and the schedule per index, schedule performance index, cost performance index, and then two future-oriented performance indices. So there's two equations. I like to make a note that there is a difference here when you divide budget at completion and number two. We are going to focus only on this here, estimate at completion. And then two equation forecasting. This equation is not going to make any sense unless you put them in context. Another way to put the equations, put that way, and when you go to the exam, you just to put everything in 15 minutes. You have 15 minutes to familiarize the people in the exam. Give you 15 minutes to get familiar with the mouse and the computers. You don't need this. So you take scratch of paper and you download all, you write down all the equations you memorized. Having done that, let's go for a case study. You are building 6 identical medical labs attached to a hospital building. Your project costs 200,000 and is expected to take 8 weeks. So you have the budget at completion here and they give you the duration. At the end of the fourth week, you have spent 20,000 per lab. So it means the cost of the lab is 20,000 and I have finished 3 medical labs. You are ready to begin on the fourth date. So based on the information provided in the example above, fill in the values for the following table next slide. So you make all these, and let's start with the budget at completion. It simply means how much we originally expected this project to cost. And then you come to the planned value, the planned percent complete time budget at completion. In our case, we are 4 weeks complete on an 8 weeks schedule, which equates 50%. So you come up with this value. Now we are going to calculate the earned value. It's how much value you have earned on the project. Planned value is what the planned, but earned value is what actually happened. The earned value equal actual percent complete time budget at completion. And then you see in our case, we finished the 3 labs out of 6 labs. So you're talking about 100% straightforward. Now let's talk about the actual cost of our project. The actual cost is the amount of cost you have incurred at this point. So you have 20,000 per lap times 3, so it's equal the actual cost 60,000. Let's see how about the cost variance. The It's telling me how much actual cost differ from earned value. So it's earned value minus actual cost. You came up with 40,000. They might put questions like what the positive value means, what the negative value means. Positive values indicate that we are doing better on cost than we had planned. Negative uh, uh, cost variance indicates that the costs are running higher than planned. Okay, how about the schedule? The schedule is how much our schedule differ from our plan. So you have earned value minus planned value. Just to plug the numbers, you came up with 0. So what that means? If it is higher than 1 indicates that your project is ahead of your schedule. If it is less than 1, that indicates that your project is behind the schedule. If it is 0, indicate that your project is on a schedule. So equal 1 or higher than 1 indicate that your project is on or ahead of the schedule. Now we are going to talk about the cost performance index and the schedule performance index. Let's just start with the cost performance index, which gives us an indicator as to how much we are getting for every dollar. Again, you straightforward, plug your numbers. You came up with 1.66, which means that tell you you are every dollar you are spending, you're gonna get $1.66, which is good. So if it is equal or higher than 1 is desirable. If it is less than 1, it is not good. Now let's just start about the schedule. What your schedule looks like. My schedule in this case tells me how fast the project is progressing compared to the project plan. So um, schedule performance index equal earned value divided by planned value. So you plug the numbers, you came up with 1. So if schedule performance index equal or higher than 1, it is good. If it is less than 1, it's not good. If it is higher or equal 1, it means that you are ahead of your schedule. If it is less than 1, so you are behind your schedule. Now, what the estimate at completion? At the estimate at completion, again, you put the numbers. It is the amount we expect the project to cost based on where we are relative to cost and schedule. So the equation equal budget at completion divided by cost uh, performance index. You came up with 200,000 divided by 1.66. So you came up with $120 for 82. So it is good. All right, let's see. So this is estimate to complete. This is the estimate at completion. So our estimate at completion, we are doing good till we finish our project. That's the time, the amount we are expecting from this time, this point till the end of the project. Now let's talk about the estimate to completion. The estimate to completion is how much more we expect to spend from this point forward based on what we have done so far. So it's again the straightforward equation. You plug the numbers, you came up with these figures 60. So you put the numbers here, estimate to complete your project from this point. I'd like you to look at the variance at completion. The variance at completion is difference between what we originally budgeted and what we expect to spend. The positive variance indicates that we are doing better than projected, and uh, a negative variance indicates that we expect the project to run over on cost. So you came up with these numbers. Now we have two numbers here for the to complete performance index. It is the performance which must be achieved on all remaining work in order to meet the either financial or schedule goals. But I like you to note here the numbers, the figures you are going to get here, if it is less than 1, it means that you can underperform and still meet your project and your target. If it is higher than 1, it means that you would need to overperform against the plan to meet your accomplishing your project. So it is the opposite. So all the numbers, the indicators in the past, if it is higher than 1, it's good. But in this case, you have to pay attention to it. So you finish your equations, you finished your numbers, you finish your report. So that the report will look like to be submitted to your sponsorship or stakeholders. That's it. Thank you. If you like my my sessions, hear my presentation, please subscribe, share, and go to my projectmetricsolution.com and go to resources, and please download or use the links over there. Thank you so much. Bye bye.